Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Moses Lake paving company will not have to pay extra interest in a 17-year-long dispute with its subcontractor on a road project. The Cascade School District is warning people to stay away from Rattlesnake Hill behind Cascade High School in Leavenworth. We'll tell you why. Rain mixed with snow showers will hang around north central Washington through Friday. Your full local weather forecast is straight ahead. One person is dead after a December 19th officer-involved shooting outside Tonasket, and a special police unit is investigating. Chief Ryan Moody, one of the coordinators for the North Central Washington Special Investigations Unit, says the shooting arose from an effort by the U.S. Marshals Service Special Operations Group to arrest a suspect near the intersection of Spur Drive and Summit Lake Road. That's about 10 miles east of Ellisford. During that operation, the SIU says the male suspect contacted members of the Marshals Group while armed with a shotgun and was shot and killed by officers. The suspect has not been identified. U.S. Marshals say he was wanted on charges of assault and intimidating a public servant. Okanogan County Sheriff Paul Boudreau asked the SIU team to review the shooting to help determine whether it was carried out lawfully. The team is composed of officers from all four police agencies in Chelan and Douglas counties. A Moses Lake paving company will not have to pay extra interest in a 17-year-long dispute with its subcontractor on a road project. That's the finding this week from the Washington Court of Appeals. Central Washington Asphalt was hired by the State Department of Transportation for a 2006 road construction project on Highway 17. The company hired Cascade Concrete Industries of Burlington to provide sound-absorbing barriers along the roadway. With about $900,000 in cost overruns with CWA, which CWA, I should say, refused to pay, Cascade sued in 2008 and eventually won just $600,000 from a Grant County jury. In its appeal, the concrete firm said it should have been awarded interest at 18% rather than the 12% the jury approved. The 2-1 appellate court ruling found in favor of Central Washington Asphalt and denied the higher amount. Appellate Judge George Fearing dissented in the case. Fish hatcheries around Chelan County are on the road to recovery from the recent atmospheric river event. The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife shared photos of several affected hatcheries, including the Chihuahua hatchery, where staff spent the night in a bunkhouse to monitor the facility during flooding. Photos also show the backup pump platform during flooding at the Nason Creek hatchery and debris left after the water receded at the Dryden Pond hatchery. Meanwhile, at the federally managed Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery, trails are now reopened after the removal of hazardous trees, though the hatchery says its fish ladder sustained damage and all tribal fishing platforms were washed away. Fish and Wildlife said flooding preparation includes testing backup power systems, work around the clock to clean debris from intake screens, and adjust channels to allow floodwaters to bypass facilities. After the storm, staff assess damage to hatchery structures and then begin cleanup. With the windstorms and flooding of 2025 in the rear view, Chelan County's longest-serving commissioner took a look back at the crisis. Kevin Overbay voted with his fellow commissioners for an emergency declaration after the atmospheric river that knocked out power and flooded homes throughout the county. Overbay took stock of the damage on the most recent Chelan County Connection podcast.
I would say Western County, basically the Leavenworth area and Stehekin are really the two hardest hit. Leavenworth, Lake Wenatchee, and Stehekin area. Stehekin probably being the hardest hit because they have such a small population. They don't have the infrastructure that maybe a larger city has, or incorporated or even unincorporated area. Usually it's one road. They've had washout from that. They already have a fragile infrastructure system in place for their power, their water, their wastewater, and so their facilities were destroyed. The wastewater facility was destroyed there, and so there's just with the slides, with the down trees, with the flooding, they, I think, are the hardest hit. We've had communities like Leavenworth, Stehekin, especially extremely impacted by this flooding all up the valley. Down trees, still power out in some areas. We've had restaurants that have lost their stock, of reserve food and things like that they've had. There's just been huge financial losses. The upside is of course we did a emergency declaration, and what it does is it really helps speed up the process to recovery. I will say that my hat's off to the emergency workers that are out there, that have been there. Our sheriff's department has just done a fantastic job. Public Works, hats off to the PUD line folks that are out there trying to get that power up in really bad, environment. And just trying to make sure that the utilities are up for folks to be able to get back to some sense of normalcy. Our dispatchers, our communications folks, everybody is just really pulling their weight and more.
When we come back, the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is offering a different kind of domesticated animal for adoption this week, and the Colville Confederated Tribes were awarded more than $392,000 in federal grant money for a roadway safety project on their reservation. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Ordering for Susan?
During the holiday rush, those might be the best words you can hear all week. At Abby's, you get a night off from cooking, a place to gather with family, and easy holiday catering that everybody loves. For legendary pizza and hospitality, visit Abby's.com. Aloha and Mele Kaliki Maka from Abby's. End your year with a tropical twist. Our big Hawaiian pizza at a legendary holiday price. Plus, earn $5, $10, $20 or more in free pizza with our holiday gift card offer. Abby's, a legendary holiday pizza tradition.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
When flooding hit Serve Wenatchee, their office and Fresh Hope Market were devastated. But their mission to help prevent homelessness in this valley hasn't stopped, and neither will we. I'm Todd McLaughlin, General Manager at Apple Valley Honda. Now through the end of the year, we're donating $25 to Serve Wenatchee every time someone takes a test drive. And if you happen to buy a vehicle, we'll give an additional $100 in your name. Because when our neighbors are in need, this community steps up, and we're proud to be part of that.
The Cascade School District is warning people to stay away from Rattlesnake Hill behind Cascade High School in Leavenworth. After the city was hit by severe windstorms and flooding earlier this month, the district said downed trees and rocks were rolling down towards school buildings. The district has issued several reminders to stay off the trail, but says people are still attempting to go. Cascade Schools says the hill is dangerous and staying away from it will help to avoid injury and avoid damaging school property. The district is asking people to steer clear of the local landmark until dangerous trees have been removed. The The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is offering a different kind of domesticated animal for adoption this week. Sundance is about 16 years old and looking for his forever stable. He's an Arabian quarter horse crossbreed and full of the energy that goes along with being descended from racing stallions. His keepers at the animal shelter say he may have been involved in a trailer rollover accident at one time, but he tolerates being loaded and hauled. The adoption agency wants to place Sundance with an experienced horse owner who can give him the time and care he needs. If you're interested in meeting Sundance, you can contact the Humane Society by phone or online. The Colville Confederated Tribes were awarded more than $392,000 in federal grant money for a roadway safety project on the reservation. The funding was secured by U.S. Senator Maria Cantwell and comes from the U.S. Department of Transportation's Safe Streets and Roads for All program. The Colville Tribes will use the money for their Assessing Safety and Transportation project. Work will include updating crash data, developing an ADA transition plan, and transforming their 2021 safety plan into a comprehensive safety action plan for the reservation. Statewide, $88 million was secured for 78 different street safety projects. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will tell you how the Washington Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction is combating threats of violence against students and teachers. More wet weather is expected through Friday with excellent travel conditions expected for the weekend. I'll have your local weather details coming up, followed by Eric Cranstrom with all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues after these messages.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
The Washington Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction highlighted school-based threat assessment in a recent video it published to social media. OSPI is what it calls a three-pronged approach to threats of violence against students and staff, which involves comprehensive school safety, threat assessment, and behavioral health and suicide prevention. The video features multiple school safety officials who explain the multi-tiered protocol the state takes to identify and assess students of concern. In tonight's featured story, Hunter McLeod, the threat assessment coordinator from the North Central Educational Service District, joined OSPI in the video and spoke about family involvement in school safety.
We're talking about families being key partners with threat assessment. One of the big things that I see as something that we can do to really get them on board is the way that we talk to our families at the beginning of the school years. And that's not necessarily coming from us as ESDs, but when we're talking with our districts about ways to really get them engaged, a lot of us recommend or advise getting wording out at the beginning of the school years, talking through how to do anonymous reporting for both parents and students, making sure that parents are aware of the school safety measures that we put in place. A lot of times those aren't things that we in education broadcast that we're proud of, because it's something that we think of more retroactively and reactively. And so to put that out front and get parents aware of the things that we're doing is really helpful and beneficial. And then making sure that parents know where they can get that information from and who to reach out to if they need to, whether that's the ESD contacts, whether that's the district person, or it's going onto OSPI's website, finding out who they need to contact there. All of us are key players in helping support our families and parents so that way they feel like their kids supported and they understand why we're doing this. And that's where I think there's a lot of discrepancy as parents unfortunately hear the word threat assessment and they think something terrible because of the word threat, and then we end up having to backtrack and explain how supportive this document or this system can be to keep their kid in school versus it being something where, you know, it's this horrible thing because there's a threat. But if we're using this as a preventative model to figure out, hey, we just want to know why your kiddo is feeling this way. How can we support them? What can we do to get them help and support so they're safe? It helps parents understand a little bit more behind the scenes of what we're doing with threat assessment.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast on this Christmas Eve, and I hope you had a fantastic day today. Very active weather overnight and through our morning hours, and then rain kind of tapered off and just kind of dark clouds hung around our area this afternoon. This dramatic shot from our Hay Canyon Tower camera. It's up by the Leavenworth and Cashmere areas, up valley, and you can see a lot of those dark clouds and some low-hanging clouds that are moving pretty good out there. We have our next round of precipitation moving in just in time for Christmas, and we'll get to all that in a second. But today, unofficially, 36 degrees our high temperature. 32 is where we should be for this time of year, and our record high, 48 degrees set in 2014. 32 our overnight low temperature, once again way above where we should be for lows this time of year. 23 is normal, and our record cold, 1 below, and that was set in 1983. All right, overnight and this morning we picked up just a little bit over 1/4 of an inch of precipitation, 0.26 inches. That now gets us to 6.81 inches for the year, and we're now under 7/10 behind where we should be for this time of year. Looks like we might get there into the next week. We'll talk more about that as well. Sunrise 7:47 and sunset this afternoon at 4:15. Getting you into your forecast now for Christmas Day, and things don't look bad at all. 43 for Moses Lake and Ephrata, 41 the Christmas high temperature in Quincy tomorrow. A lot of us from Ellensburg right here into Wenatchee, we will see 36 for our high temperature, and that also includes Eniat, Chelan, and up into Omak. 34 in Leavenworth, and 35 the Christmas Day high temperature for you folks in Cashmere. Tonight we will see partly cloudy skies. High pressure near the Spokane area will keep us pretty much stable for tonight. Actually, as I mentioned, partly cloudy. We will be dry overnight tonight. Low temperatures around 30 degrees. For your Christmas, our area of low pressure moves just a little bit north, and that'll be far enough north to really kick off shower activity again tomorrow. A 70% chance of rain and snow. I think most of that will be up in the Omak area with high temperatures in the mid-30s for Christmas. For your Friday, cloudy skies. That low moves off the coast of Oregon into Canada, and behind it, it's going to drag some rain and snow showers with it for Friday. A 60% chance, mid-30s. Once again, you're high on Friday. And then I'll tell you, if you're traveling this weekend, things look great. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Thanks to that area of high pressure, we will see dry weather conditions Saturday, and a little warmer too, with highs in the mid to upper 30s. 30s for Saturday. On Sunday, if you're heading out then, also another great travel day. Mostly sunny and nice ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest. We'll see highs even a little bit warmer in the upper 30s on Sunday. And then as we get you into next week, our final week of 2025, Monday also looks mostly sunny as this ridge of high pressure continues to intensify. We'll see highs again into those upper 30s for Monday. And then by the end of our forecast on Tuesday, we'll see partly cloudy skies. That nice weather will continue with high temperatures in the upper 30s. All right, time for your 7-day forecast now, and it's brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. 30 degrees overnight tonight, a 70% chance for rain and snow on Christmas. We'll see 36 for our high temperature. We'll also see some leftover showers on Friday with a 60% chance of the wet stuff. Once again, highs right around 36. And then beginning on Saturday and running right through Tuesday, lots of sunshine and dry weather. We'll see high temperatures Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, generally in the mid to upper 30s. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCW Evening News continues right after this.
Well, a Merry Christmas to you and to yours. The Seattle Kraken got an early Christmas present. They've won 3 in a row for just the second time this season. Seattle held on to beat the LA Kings 3-2 last night. It was the first time the Kraken have won 3 straight since early October. Jordan Eberle started the scoring, and Joey DeCord had to hang on for the win.
And the Kraken resetting. Chandler Stevenson watched by Kopitar to the corner. Eberle back to Stevenson. 20 seconds to go. Beniers down low. Eberle shoots. Scores! Jordan Eberle on the power play goals in back-to-back games. The Seattle Kraken take a 1-0 lead. It's Kopitar into the offensive zone. Slides it across. A Ferrier right on. DeCord shuts it down and covers it up.
On the game, even when the points aren't there. And that's when you're looking at the development and getting yourself ready and being a National Hockey League player.
There's Gaudreau right on off the glove of Copley, and he scores. It's knuckle puck time, apparently in LA. 2-0 Seattle. Jamie Alexiakis, he'll turn that shot down. Seattle 2-on-1 again. Ben Myers and Gaudreau. Myers to Gaudreau in front, shot, scores! Ben Myers, it deflects off the body of Anderson and in. The Seattle Kraken, a second period hat trick. It's a 3-0 lead. Second awkward goal for Copley of this period. Now the Kraken, a turnover and the Kings in front. They score. Kevin Fiala. Adrian Kempe to Doughty. Spins it off. Brent Clark backs his way to the half wall. Clark in the middle. A Ferrier shoots. DeCord makes the save. And another one right on Kopitar. And batted out to the center circle. Brent Clark skates away from Melanson. Kings are in. Kuzmenko, right side, wraparound try, scores! Andrei Kuzmenko, 18 seconds left in regulation. Here's Kopitar down low. Fiala bangs it off the post, and this will travel down the ice. Adam Larson pins it against the wall. The final seconds tick off the clock. Seattle snaps the streak. 16-1 in game twos of back-to-backs. No more. They get their third win in a row.
DeCord and Matty Beniers said it was nice to get 3 in a row right before Christmas.
Incredible efforts from the guys. It's fun to watch when we're competing like that and executing our game plan. We believe we can play with anyone in this league, and 3 big wins to go into the break, breaking the back-to-back streak. We're feeling pretty good right now, and yeah, it's gonna be a great holiday.
I liked our game tonight. Through the lineup, every guy, every line, deep pairing. Joe played awesome in there. We're a team that. We have success when every line's going and when every line's, contributing offensively and defensively, and I thought we did a really good job tonight.
Coach Lane Lambert said it was nice to see the team rewarded for their continued hard work.
Just the fact that we've stuck together pretty well through, whatever adversity we've gone through, whether it be injuries or, maybe some goals against that happen at certain times, and I think our work ethic has been outstanding. Our compete level has been outstanding. Every guy to a man worked tonight, and it's nice to see that. So proud of the guys. They deserved some success. We had been playing well and not getting it, and it's nice for them to be able to get it.
Seattle's off until Sunday when they'll be home to host Philadelphia. That'll be at 5 o'clock on Prime Video and Kong TV. Well, the NFL announced this year's Pro Bowl teams yesterday, and 6 Seahawks made the cut. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devin Witherspoon, Rashid Shaheed, Sam Darnold, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Leonard Williams are Seahawks representing the NFC team. 4 of the 6 spoke about the honor yesterday at the VMAC in Renton.
Just an honor, man. You got to take the accomplishment that come with this. You got to cherish those moments. They don't come by very often, so I'm happy. I'm grateful for that.
It was honestly towards the back. I really never thought about it, but now that it's here, it's kind of a surreal feeling. Super just thankful and blessed in this moment.
I think I've told a few guys this, but it's a team award. Just to have that honor, and it really reflects the hard work that everyone's put in. Starting when we got here in April. So, total team award.
It means a lot. I think it's nice to be recognized and, honored, and I feel like it's just like a respect thing, honestly. It was interesting, though, last year, it meant so much to me when I didn't make it. And then, at the same time when Coach kind of announced it, it's not like I had I wasn't jumping for joy. It was kind of just I don't know how to explain it.
Meanwhile, Seattle continues to prepare to face the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte. That'll be on Sunday. The game kicks off at 10 a.m. on CBS. It was originally a Monday night game, but it got flexed out. Well, if you have streaming apps such as Netflix or Prime, you'll be able to watch some NFL action tomorrow on Christmas. The Present opens tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. with Washington hosting Dallas. That's on Netflix. Also on Netflix, Detroit visiting Minnesota at 1:30. The Thursday night game features Denver at Kansas City. That's at 5:15 on Prime Video. There were 8 prep basketball games yesterday around north central Washington. Checking the scoreboard, Liberty Bell boys beat Oak Harbor in Chelan. 53-48 was the final in that one. Chelan then beat Columbia Burbank 81-57. Okanagan hosted Kittitas and beat the Coyotes 85-49. Zilla went into Cashmere and beat the Bulldogs 72-54. There were also a couple of girls games at Chelan Community Gym yesterday in the opener. Waterville Mansfield topped Cascade 53-48. Chelan beat Quincy 52-21. Okanagan down Kittitas up north 47-26, and Zilla beat Cashmere 55-40. That's a check of sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. I want everyone to have a very Merry Christmas. Be safe. We're going to have some special programming tomorrow and on Friday. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great Christmas.
And that will do it for this Christmas Eve edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We'll be taking Christmas Day and Friday the 26th off, and we'll be back with you again on Monday. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and from all of us at the NCW Life channel, have a very Merry Christmas.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.